Hello guys, welcome back to my video today, and in today's video I will be giving a guide on how to be a Transformers collector. Now keep in mind this is my opinion and from my personal perspective, so keep that in mind. Now when you're a Transformer collector, there are four main topics, four things that you should keep in mind. One is direction. You should direction, and then your factors, and then availability, and also the consequences. I will be going over all four topics. The first topic I will be discussing is direction. So you guys are probably thinking, what do I mean by direction? Direction is like what kind of franchise, what kind of genre do you want? The Transformer brand has over 40 years. It's turned 40 years old in 2024. Released in 1984, still continuing in 2024. 40 years, which means a toy line has been around every year. So there are over 40 toy lines, and there are many options now, especially with online ordering and everything. There are so many options. But for me, I like to have my Transformers organized. Like I like to have the Bayverse characters with the Bayverse, the G1 with the G1, the 86 with the 86, and so on and so on. But a direction really comes in handy, especially if you're like me and you get older, and then you'll be happy you had a direction and you weren't buying everything. But let's say you like G1 from 1984. You can buy the original toys from 1984, but those toys now go for so much. I mean, look at this Optimus on eBay. That's a lot. But if you want a cheaper, more affordable way, there's the Transformers Hasbro toy line called Transformers War for Cybertron, the WFC series, and that Siege Earthrise Kingdom. That toy line focuses heavily on G1, and I really like that toy line. It's a good toy line. Highly recommend it. Also, Legacy focuses on G1. And if you like Beast Wars, Kingdom works out for you perfectly. Kingdom is a great toy line for Beast Wars characters. Also, they have live action adaptations now, like Primal Cheetor, Eraser, Rhinox. And if you like the Bayverse movies, the movies by Michael Bay, then the Studio Series toy line is perfect for you. But at the end of the day, guys, you don't have to have a direction. I personally recommend you have a direction because it really comes in handy later. But not everyone needs a direction. Number two, factors. Now, you guys are probably thinking, what does factors mean? Now, factors, I'm talking about budget and space. Now, like it or not, Transformers are not cheap. By any means, they are not cheap. Some figures are cheap, like $9, $8. Some figures are real high, like pushing the hundreds. But Transformers aren't cheap. You gotta keep in mind your budget, because your budget is what will allow you to buy Transformers in the first place. Whether or not you have a high or low budget, it depends. That's your situation. But keep in mind your budget. Now, a second factor is space. Not that space. I mean shelf space, table space. So, what I mean by this is eventually, a few months into collecting, you're going to realize your space is filling up. Like me, I was collecting for a few years, and I slowly started running out of space. But luckily, I bought shelves, and now that my Transformers are proudly on display. So, space, you got to keep in mind your space. How much space, how much how much can you store in your house? Sometimes you can store stuff in like a storage facility. You can store it in the basement. You can store it in the attic. You can store it in your closet. You can store it wherever you want. But having the proper shelf and properly storing them can really come in handy. So keep that in mind. Keep in mind your budget and your space. Now, number three, availability. Availability is a huge factor in Transformers collecting. So, availability, you guys are probably thinking, what does availability mean? Transformer figures are very hard to find. For some reason, it's just so hard to find Transformers. You go to Walmart, you see Star Wars, you see Marvel, but you don't see too many Transformers. So, why is that? While Hasbro's distribution has not been the best in these past few years, from 2016 to even 2020, Hasbro's distribution was really good. You could find a figure at any store, but now 2021 was okay. 2022 was terrible. It was horrible distribution. 2023 was alright mostly. 2024, is okay, but it's not the best either because I still cannot find a single Cheetor or Primal in my stores at all, and I check almost every chance I get, and there is no Cheetor or Primal available. So Hasbro's distribution is not the best currently in 2024. I mean, it's still early. It's barely January 13th, January 11th. Or no, today's the 13th, sorry. As of January 13th, Hasbro's distribution is still not good. Not too good. But it's still early in the year. Maybe they'll distribute the figures better as time goes on. And so like I was saying, Transformer figures are hard to come by. Now, this is a personal tip from my mom, because my mom helps me buy all these figures, and she buys me all these figures. So a personal tip from my mom is, if you see a figure in store and it's a new series, buy it, because it's very unlikely you'll ever find it. Because my mom was there and she witnessed me not get Cheetor because I wasn't interested in Cheetor. And now I really wish I got Cheetor. He was in my hands. He was right there. I looked him in the eyes, and now he's gone. So a personal tip from my mom is buy a figure if you see it in store. If it's a new figure, even if you're not interested in the Studio Series line or something, you can always buy it. I mean, you can always sell it or trade it with someone. Someone will want it. So keep that in mind. That's a personal tip from my mom. Number 4, consequences. Now, believe it or not, there are consequences of buying these Transformer figures. Now, guys, these figures are not indestructible. They're plastic. They're not going to be able to withstand everything that's thrown at them. So be gentle with them. Also, I've noticed this. It took me a while to notice this, but Transformer figures, will break under cold temperatures. If Transformer figures get too cold, the plastic will slowly start to stretch and then crack and break over time. So keep that in mind. If your Transformers get too cold, then they will break. Not immediately, but they'll crack and then they'll fall apart. So keep that in mind. Also, clear plastic is not good because it's not durable, it's not sturdy. If used correctly, it is real good. But clear plastic will crack and break over time. So keep that in mind. If you have a Transformer and it has a clear plastic joint, please be careful with it. Move it slowly and don't let it get too cold, or else it'll crack and fall apart. Another tip is, if you have a white figure, like take Ratchet here for example, the Bumblebee movie version. If you have a white figure and you leave it in the sunlight, that figure will turn yellow. And once it turns yellow, there is no turning it back to its original color unless you repaint the whole thing, which can take hours to do. So keep that in mind for that. Also, guys, I'm gonna talk about this. Another consequence of buying Transformers is watch out for scalpers. Now, for those of you who don't know what a scalper is, you guys probably, if you guys know, that's great. If you guys don't know, I'm gonna explain right now. A scalper is a guy or woman, I don't know, depending on whatever they are. They buy Transformer figures. They buy all the Transformer figures, and then they go online and they sell it for a higher price. Like this Buzzworthy Bumblebee, it should not cost this much. It should cost $34.99. But no, look at that price right there. Look at it. It should not cost that much. But no, scalpers, this is what they do. Scalpers have no life. They have nothing better to do but to buy toys and to sell it for a higher price. Shame on them for doing that. They did that to poor Cheetor. Look at this price for Cheetor. It should cost $34.99, but no, it's this much. So keep in mind for scalpers. I have run into scalpers. In my time collecting Transformers, I have run into scalpers. But if you guys really want to hear more about scalpers, or you're interested in scalpers, then leave it in the comment section, like this video, and maybe I'll tell a story about some scalpers. Because I actually have quite a few stories about scalpers, in case you guys are interested in the topic. And now, with that, guys, these 4 topics are the basis of collecting Transformer figures. So, remember, guys, this is my personal opinion, my personal perspective of collecting Transformer figures. I have been collecting for 9 years at this point, right now in 2024. So, this is what I think. But remember, guys, at the end of the day, it's what you want. It's what you want your collection to be. You're going to be buying it. It's up to you what you want. This video is not meant to be taken 100% literally. It's just a guide. You can use it however you want. And you can look back on this video and for tips or anything. Also, guys, if you guys have any comments, concerns, questions, anything at all, You leave it in the comment section and I will answer you, and I will answer your questions. So leave it in the comment section. But with that, guys, I think that's all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get to 400 subscribers. We are 5 subscribers away, so let's get to 400. And with that, guys, I think that's all for this video. So I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.